All right, Tennessee State head coach Rod Reed, the Tigers host Jacksonville State. Coach, just thoughts on your team as we get ready to prepare for this first game of the season.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about the upcoming game. Our kids prepared well. Been working pretty hard. We've been stymied the last couple of days with the weather. With all this ice on the ground, we hadn't been able to get out much and do anything. But hopefully it'll clear up. We got the indoor over there, so the campus has really been locked down. So we really hadn't been able to get out or get into our indoor facility. But hopefully today we'll be able to get some more work in and continue to prepare for Jacksonville State.
Thanks, Coach. I know Mike Organ has a question. Mike, go ahead.
Rod, this isn't going to surprise you. I'm going to ask about the quarterback. Of course, I know nothing about this quarterback. Tell me a little bit. Is Isaiah Green your starter? And tell me about him if he is.
Well, right now, we really hadn't decided on who we're going to go with. But Isaiah is a kid that's shown tremendous growth in the short period of time that he's been here. Right now, I think Davion Bryant has a little bit better grasp of the offense. So there's a possibility that you can see a mix of the two. But right now, I think Davion Bryant will be the guy going in.
Sabree Curtis has been there, it seems like, for 5, 6, 7 years. Is he going to be your primary running back this year?
Well, Sabree is he's one of 3 or 4 guys that we can, that we can use back there. Sean McCauley and Sabree, have been here for a while. Both of those guys have done well. But Devon Starling, the kid that transferred in from Memphis, he'll be a guy also that'll see some significant minutes. So we've got 3 guys that we feel real comfortable with, and I think all 3 carry the ball on Sunday.
How much of a boost is it for your defense to get Deshaun Bryant back?
Well, actually, we don't have Deshaun Bryant back. Deshaun had a little setback with that arm, so now Love will be the guy at the Mike linebacker spot. We're hoping to get Deshaun back at some point this spring season, but we really don't know. But he would have been a tremendous boost to what we're doing defensively. But until he's completely healthy, we don't feel comfortable putting him out there. So, James Green, now Love, and Kendall Johnson, Terry Stroud, those guys that'll be handling our linebacking duties.
Talk about Stroud a little bit. Would he be considered a defensive leader?
He's a really, really quiet guy. If you want to talk about leadership on the defensive side, you're talking about the Green brothers, James and Josh. They've provided tremendous leadership for us over there on that side of the ball. Josh being our starting safety and James being the starting linebacker. Also, a kid that just came in, he's really vocal, really energetic, is Devon Hawkins, a kid that transferred in from Kentucky. Those guys have done a really good job, spearheading the defense during this season.
Two-part question for you here, Coach. How hard is it to scout when you don't have a lot of film on a team? However, Jacksonville State, they play games, so you saw them in the fall. Does that make it a little bit easier, or do you think they'll maybe even do things different depending on the personnel they have?
Well, they may do things a little bit differently. There are a couple of guys that are not playing this spring. I think the quarterback being one of them, but we've seen the Webb kid a little bit, over the past couple of years he's played for them. They normally play 2 quarterbacks each game. So we've seen the Zion Webb kid and, definitely saw the big tight end a whole lot. So we're pretty familiar with the personnel. Some of the guys that play for them, we recruited. So we do respect that they got some awfully good talent over there. From what they've shown in the fall, their physical football team, they want to hit you in the mouth and run the ball, but also they have some explosive guys on the outside. So we've got to be very astute in what we're doing in our preparation. And I think that our guys have really been locked in and prepared for what we saw on film. So who knows what we'll see on Sunday, but we prepared for what we've seen.
You talked about just getting the season started and excited to be out there. Is there an area or two that you think you all have made the biggest impact since the end, or improvement since the end of the 2019 season?
Yeah, I think, defensively, we're a little more structured and sound in what we're doing. Coach Roberts has done a good job of coming in and really implementing, a defense that's really simple. And I think our kids have executed, and we just got to see if we can take it over into, Sunday. We've done a really good job of, making adjustments in practice against what we've seen from our offense, and it's been real competitive out there. So I expect to see a huge jump on the defensive side of the ball. And offensively, I think we got some guys over there that are really explosive. But it's going to start in the trenches. Whoever can control the offense and defensive sides of the ball up front, will probably be the victor.
Along those lines, Rod, can you talk about Cam Durley and the transition he's made from where he was with Kansas before and to come in and kind of anchor your offensive line?
Yeah, Cam was coming off a pretty significant Achilles injury there at Kansas, and he came in, worked really hard. You watch him all summer and the things that he did, during the COVID deal, and throughout the fall, just his work ethic has been phenomenal. And being able to watch him to be a leader over there on that offensive line, he's very, very vocal over there. Always keep those guys up. So we're excited to have him as a part of our offensive line core, and I think that it's going to pay great dividends for him.
I want to follow up one, and then if Mike has anything else, this will be the last one. You can't replicate game action, so you're going to get game action. You're going to see improvement. The schedule right now has those 2 games and then an off week. How much extra improvement do you think you'll see from these players, over the first 3 weeks of the season?
The old adage is, you make your biggest jump after the first game. Hopefully we can make that jump going into the first game. Haven't had very much practice time in the fall. I don't think anybody has. Jacksonville State did because they played in the fall. But, you definitely will look to see some improvement between the first and second game. And then having that off week early on, we should be able to make some major adjustments if needed to be able to push forward the rest of the season.
Mike, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good, guys. Thanks.
Coach, appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck Sunday. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thanks for having me. Go Big Blue.